The Calcio Guys is a weekly podcast by Adreano, Gianni Delacolli, and myself, Nicholas DiGiovanni. We want to bring Calcio back to its roots in our communities and share stories from around the world about why we're passionate about the beautiful game. You can listen to us anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, including Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and Mixcloud. Give us your opinion on social media at The Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The intro song is Fireworks by Jazar. It's finally here, the 2020-2021. Try saying that 20 times. The 2020-2021 Serie A season, and we're back. I guess we could call this a third season on the Calcio Guys with Adreano, Gianni Delacolli. I'm Nicholas DiGiovanni. I guess you could call this a third season. Like, you know how shows, they have seasons, they start off. I know we did a show last week. We didn't take much of a break over the off season. I mean, it was a short off season, but third season of the Calcio Guys. It's going to be our 2-year anniversary. I think next week. I think September 25th or 26th. So exciting times.
Exciting times is right. You said it well, Nick. I can't believe, the three wise guys from Montreal, just shooting the shit, talking calcio, talking about our passion and trying to bring our passion forward. And I think we did an all right job so far. And but first and foremost, we'd like to definitely thank everybody who has supported us from day one. Finally reached over 1,000 followers on both Instagram and Twitter. So we definitely like to, thank everybody for that. And I couldn't be happier. Life is good. So I guess you can say. And ready for this season. I'm super pumped. I know all three of us are super pumped. So can't wait for it.
I mean, when we first started this, it was just an idea of Nicholas to just do a radio show for Calcio. And to be fair with you, I didn't expect much from it. I was just going let's do this for fun. And I still do this for fun. But I'm really happy with the fact that over time, we've met a lot of great people. We interacted with a lot of great people, and our social media pages have grown. And because of this, we managed to become connected with Calcio fans all over North America, and even even some of them in Europe and other parts of the world. So it's fantastic, and I'm really happy that we're starting our third season for this, because I feel like as if there's more to grow upon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the connections has been the best part. When we first pitched this show to CJLO. CJLO is, community radio station. They're community driven. It's a university radio station, but they really focus on Montreal. And I told the directors there, we want to make this a Montreal soccer community show, and it quickly expanded. Our first guest was Marcello.
Grande Marcello.
Presidente. So we had the Montreal connection, and a couple of our guests at the beginning were Montreal connections. We had a couple of good ones. We had Frank Cavallaro come on in the fall.
Yes, sir.
We had Marco Paradiso, which was a fun one. He mixes art and soccer. We had Mohammed, a big Juve fan from Montreal too. So it's been fun getting to know people from Montreal, but then getting to know people elsewhere, aka our guest today, that we're gonna have Joseph from Calcio Fan Blogs. Yeah. Sorry, Adreano, I just saw something funny on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
and
there's always funny things going on Twitter, man, these days. Holy crap!
Share with the class.
It's just,
unless it's vulgar and you can't share it.
Yeah.
Inter fans seeing that Inter fans basically making fun of Juve for going after a 34-year-old striker in Edin Dzeko when they're claiming they're going after Pinamonte, who's a 21-year-old, a young striker, but he's only scored a handful of goals. So, couple of Juve fan and Inter fans getting into it. But that is the talk of the week. The striker, it's a carousel of strikers, a carousel of number 9s in the Serie A. We got Milik going to Roma, Dzeko coming to Juve, and Higuain going to the United States. I mean, Gianni, for Roma, you got to be happy. You got to be happy you're getting Milik. I mean, He's going from one of your teams to the other.
Well, see, the thing is, Roma is slowly becoming depleted up front. So Schick was officially bought out. Under is rumored to be leaving. Dzeko's gone.
I think it's official. I think it's official to Leicester almost.
Yeah, it is. It is official.
Soon. If not, it's coming up.
Okay, because
that's a good sale. That's a good sale for Roma.
Yeah, like it hasn't
20,
been. Yeah,
25 mil or whatever. What 27 mil for
25 mil, which is not so bad. I mean, they have plenty of talent on the wing slot anyway, so I mean, it was bound to happen. Yeah. But I think that means they're going to be going with, Kluivert for most often now on the right wing slot. Oh no, he plays more left, but they might put him on the right. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. So with Dzeko and Schick gone, who's actually going to be your center forward? Especially now that you have Zaniolo, who's going to be out for a while, and you don't have pretty much a center attacking mid either / winger. So Milik is a necessary pickup. Now the thing is, in Napoli, he was a failed project, and I don't know if he's going to change for Roma or if he's going to bring the continuous bad habits. So for now, because I saw him very much with Napoli with better wingers, because let's be fair, the talent on Napoli's wing was significantly better. Past couple of seasons, at least, have been significantly better than Roma's. So who else? Who's going to be feeding him the ball that he needs to get? Because when he was getting those chances at Napoli, he wasn't putting them back in. I'm actually very doubtful about this move. I mean, sure, I want the best. I hope for the best. But because I seen him play with Napoli, it's more of an asterisk. I'm like, okay, well, we added to places that we lost, but let's be wary about this.
Yeah, I agree. First off, I'm going to just say that he's got to stay on the field. This guy has had unfortunate luck. No luck at all actually with the injury bug at Napoli. Failed project, I guess, like Gianni said, you can say. But yeah, he's got to stay on the pitch. I don't know if. Listen, yeah, you're upgrading in that he's younger than Dzeko, but I don't know. I always found Dzeko, for Roma, he was Roma's attack. They fed off of him. Obviously, with the likes of Zaniolo out. And now getting somebody that has to, get into the routine of how things work at Roma, into their tactics, into what Fonseca's plans are. I think it's going to be a bit of an adjustment period for Milik. So I don't know. I'm not super hyped about the move. I think maybe you're going laterally, maybe diagonally, maybe not really laterally. Maybe you're going a bit diagonally with this move, but going the other way, Dzeko to Juve. That pretty much says puts up the X for Luis Suarez coming to Italy. So I don't know. I think listen, Dzeko he's a proven goal scorer in Serie A. He's a leader. He's a veteran. Yeah. I think does it solve entirely Juve's number 9 problems? I don't know. I think that still remains to be seen. But I think he will slot in okay there. When you got the likes of Ronaldo and Dybala and whoever else is going to, surround Dzeko, I think that he can score a lot of goals. So, I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, because don't forget, Dzeko won Capo Cannonieri in, 2016 or 2017, one of those 2 years. And he's also tied for fourth all-time with Roma scoring with 104 goals. So that's something that is hard to replace if you lose it, and it's a big benefit if you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, for Juve, I'm a bit unsure still. I know he's a great striker, no doubt. It was 16-17 that he got Capo Cannoniere, 29 goals. He's a great striker, no doubt, but, looking at Juve's history, they let Mandzukic go last year. They're letting Higuain go. That one I bit understand. I think mentally he just wasn't there. He wasn't, Higuain of old. But, you have these 2 strikers in their 30s that you get rid of, and you go out and get another striker in his 30s. That's basically going to be a Band-Aid solution. And then in 2 years from now, if it's a 2-year contract that he signed, or signs, they're going to have to find another striker. They're going to go out and get another 34-year-old. I think they need to really get that number 9 for the future. I think right now it is a bit difficult because of everything. Juve's taking a financial loss. So we'll wait and see. I was really excited for Suarez if Suarez was going to come, but I guess it's a somewhat of a cheaper option for Dzeko. Suarez took his Italian exam today. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess, if he ever wants to come to Italy, maybe there's a transfer going on to the Italian national team. I think that's why.
I don't know. Well, his wife's Italian. I think it's his
Yeah.
wife. His wife's Italian. I think that's what it was. But
Got a
but
free
yeah,
trip to
even
Italy.
that's it. But and everybody was going crazy because they thought maybe he would sign for Juve. But again, even with Suarez coming, he Champions League winner, whatever, and he's been a proven goal scorer pretty much his whole career. It's still another 30. 32, what is he? 34 years of age. So it's still I think a band-aid solution with Suarez. Maybe he can be that piece that could have been for Juve this season. But even at that, I think Nick said it right. It's still band-aid solutions with these two players that were even rumored, and a younger option should definitely be in their plans come the future.
So we'll preview this 2020-2021 or 2020-21 season, the most difficult season to say.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to believe it's already back in 2 days, honestly, because the off season's been so short. We're used to longer off seasons. I remember last summer, like in the middle of July, I was like so bored of not having Calcio. I was waiting for that return and everything. But 6 weeks, other sports were on. We're still home. We're fighting through COVID and whatnot. So it's been different. No preseason. Not a couple teams playing preseason. I know Milan, they played their first Europa League game today. Beat the Shamrock Rovers. What was it? 2-0 the final score.
Yeah,
2-0 the final score. So we'll do a couple of things. We'll predict a couple of things. We'll predict some more with our friend Joseph later on when he joins us. Who do you, and this is a really open question, it could be anything, player, coach, team, storyline. What do you think is going to be the biggest surprise of the season and the biggest disappointment?
Wow. That's super tough, Joe. You want to take it away?
I guess the biggest surprise will probably be I think that this year Inter actually stops Juve from getting the 10th in a row. I think that's going to be the surprise. I'll explain why later when we give our predictions.
Yeah.
And I think probably the biggest disappointment is going to be probably Genoa getting relegated, and that's going to be also part of my season prediction later on.
Ooh, so stay tuned later. But like Nick said, super open question, very tough to predict. Just disclaimer going forward, don't take any of these predictions to the bank because I don't know if you're gonna win too much there. But biggest surprise, I don't know. I think Napoli can do better. Start off the season better. Obviously, last season was a bit of a roller coaster of a year. They started with one of the better Italian managers, if not managers, to ever coach in Ancelotti. He's been pretty much a winner everywhere he's went, and that project didn't really pan out. They get the unproven, proven, however you want to look at it, Gattuso to replace him. Come, I think it was in December, and to finish off the season. And he did wonders. I mean, he managed to get them into some sort of European competition, winning the Coppa Italia as well, and just got the locker room back the way it used to be. So I think they can continue on like that. I do think they will start off the season better. Biggest disappointment, I don't know. It's tough to say. I'm probably gonna say, I don't know. Maybe Lazio. Maybe Lazio. Maybe even just the Roman teams. I don't know. I'm still a bit unsure how they're gonna fall in the table. I think it's Lazio, and we'll speak about this later on when we do our predictions. But Lazio has kept pretty much their pieces intact. Have they added in that depth department? Not entirely. So I don't know if that's going to bite them in the ass later. And Roma, I don't know. They lost Dzeko. For me, again, their offense or their focal piece in their offense last season Adding Milik, as I said before, if he stays on the field, good. If he doesn't, it'll be a worrisome situation because who do they put after that? Because I don't trust Kalinic. And with Zaniolo out, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, I would probably say that not really biggest disappointment, but just for me more unsure of how things will pan out.
I'm going to start with my disappointment. I have it in my predictions, and again, we'll talk about it later. Torino is going to go back down to Serie B.
Way.
Yep. That's my bold prediction. They looked awful, through stretches of last season. They did not get better. They lost Di Silvestri to Bologna, one of their leaders. They have nobody who's going to service Andrea Bellotti. He's, one of the best young strikers in Italy. Well, young. One of the best strikers in Italy, and there's nobody feeding him. It's pretty sad. They got a new coach in Gianpaolo. Maybe he could do, what he did with Sampdoria 2 years ago with them when they finished, I think, 9th. But I just don't see it, and it's frustrating times too because the Torino fans are upset with the management there. So I think do I honestly believe they're going to go down? I'm not going to put money on it. But if they go down at the end of the season, I'll come back to this and I'll say I told you so.
I told you so, yeah.
But biggest surprise?
Oh, just like last year when you thought Inter was going to win?
No. Maybe.
Inter. Conte.
Biggest surprise, I'm going to say Bologna is going to do really well this season. They're going to be one of those teams where they challenge for Europe, but they're just going to finish outside. I liked what I saw by them at the end of the season. Obviously, Sinisa, we talked about him last week. Beat cancer, beat COVID. I think there's a lot of inspiration there. I think they're just a good, solid team. I think, maybe they don't have the most talented players, but what Mihailovic has done for them is they play with heart. So I hope that that translates into success this season for Bologna. So you guys want to do standings? You want to do like a top 6 and relegation? We each wrote down our complete standings. If you want, we could go 1 through 20. You list off all your teams, and then you give your explanation at the end. So you don't go like one by one. You list off all your teams.
Well, if I may, I think it's better just to do top 6, bottom 3, because from like 7th to like 17th, it's a bit of a toss up. Maybe the top 10 you can kind of fit, but like from like 8 to 17th, 7th to 17th, it's like teams are interchangeable.
I say this. We say our top. I like how we're discussing this on air. This is amazing. It shows we're not professionals. But I say this. We list off the 1 through 20, like Nick said, and then we focus on what Gianni's saying. We focus on the top 6 and bottom 3. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
I think that works.
And don't. I want to try to get Joseph on in about 10 minutes or so.
10, 15 minutes.
We don't have to rush, but don't write a book here.
Absolutely. Okay. So who's starting off? Nick, you want to start it away?
Okay, why not? So I'm gonna say Juve wins this year, followed by Atalanta, Inter, Napoli, Milan, Roma, Lazio, Bologna, Sassuolo, Verona, Fiorentina, Benevento, Cagliari, Sampdoria, Parma, Crotone, Genoa, Udinese, Torino, and Spezia. Juve, I think I said it last year. Last year they were on the decline, and I think anybody with half a brain saw that. Last season the Juve wasn't the Juve of old, and I think the management saw that, and that's why they fired Sarri and brought in Pirlo. And I think they realized, this number 10 is going to be a lot harder than originally thought. So they're really going, they're gunning for that 10, and I think with Pirlo as coach, they're going to have like a renewed optimism. I just don't see them. It's there's good challengers. Atalanta, Inter for sure. There's good challengers, but I just see Juve coming out on top. Atalanta, Inter. I mean, you could put Inter second, Atalanta third. I put Atalanta second, Inter third. It could be a 1 point difference at the end. Milan's going to finish right outside the Champions League spot. They were a really good post COVID, but post-lockdown, but I just don't see them playing that well for 38 games. Lazio dropping to 6th, I have them, or 7th actually. That would suck for them, but I think they're just going to be maybe they're going to be focused more on Champions League this year. They're going to have a lot of games on their plate. And then at the bottom of the table, Genoa, I put them at 17 just because they're so used to being there. Udinese is another team I said that they're going to go down. I think that's a team that they're kind of like Genoa. They've been a fringe team for so many years. Maybe it's going to be their time to go. Torino, same thing. And then Spezia. I'm sorry, Spezia, but I just don't see how they're going to stay up. They're going to be that relegation team that's going to struggle all season. Benevento and Crotone, I think they have better teams, especially Benevento with Pippo Inzaghi. When you win the Serie B, you're the best team coming up, and I think they could challenge for a mid-table spot.
Wow. Yeah. No, that was well said. I think, listen, again, don't take these things to the bank. This is very hard to predict. We probably got it all wrong. Come at the end of next season, we're probably going to get it all wrong. But just for the fun of it, it's something we like to do.
If you're using my predictions to put money on, I'm going to call you an idiot. Don't do that.
Just don't do it.
Hey, this is not for money. This is for fun on the podcast.
That's it.
We're having fun with our predictions.
All right. So for myself, I guess I'll go next. So my top 20 is Juve, Inter, Atalanta, Milan, Napoli, Lazio, Roma, Sassuolo, Fiorentina, Bologna, Cagliari, Verona, Parma, Sampdoria, Torino, Udinese, Benevento, Genoa, Crotone, and Spezia. I think Juve is gonna win the 10th in a row. To me, no sweat off my back. I couldn't care less if they do it, even if they don't. It's not gonna make me any happier, any worse, whatever. I think they'll do it again. Will they not continue on after 10? I don't know. But for 10, they'll get the 10th. It's okay. They can celebrate that. Inter, I think, will be close second. Once again, I know, this is year 2 under Conte. I think they're aiming for the now. They're aiming for the now, and just the targets that they got, or the people that they're trying to sign or have signed, this off season. Passing up on maybe some younger talent, to go older and with some more experience, which I think, it's kind of risky, but I think, if you don't go for it, you'll never know. So Inter in second. I think Atalanta finishes third again. I think, for them, again, I still think it's an achievement to be in this position. I know they're on the rise. I know there's a lot of hype around them, but third, I think will do them justice. I think they will, obviously give a lot of teams, a run for their money, but I think third, for now, works for them. Fourth, I'm going with my heart here. I have to put Milan in fourth. I think, yes, it's a short or small sample size. Post COVID, they were good. They looked great. They kept Ibra and Pioli on, and Maldini up top, and everything has been pretty okay. They brought in one of, if not the best young Italian talent, or young talent there is, in Sandro Tonali in the midfield. Which I think, that's a dream come true for him, and just a great addition. Brahim Diaz, they're looking for, other targets. I think if they can get Milenkovic from Fiorentina, that would just secure their backline even better. Gigi on the back is a rock. So I think, hopefully, speriamo, fingers crossed, for my Milan brothers all over the world, we finally get back to Champions League after so many years missing it. Right under that, I'm gonna put Napoli. Like I said earlier, I think they do start off the season better. Do they get into Champions League? I don't know. I guess either Milan and Napoli, that could be flip-flop. I'm going Milan, Napoli. And then to round out Europa League, I'm gonna put Lazio. Again, the Roman teams for me. I love our Roman followers. Roma Club Philadelphia, New York, the Lazio fans that follow us and that support us. I love you guys all, but for me, it's just very unsure. It's I'm not too sure how it's going to pan out for them. I think that could be another flip-flop between Lazio and Roma. But I'm going to put Lazio just because, they still have their pieces intact. They still have the Immobiles. They still have, the Luis Albertos, SMS, Lucas Leiva. These players are still around. So they have the depth to carry them for the whole way. I think it'll be a struggle again, but I think with Inzaghi, I think they can get it done to at least crack Europa League. And I don't think they'll care too much about, for some reason, I don't think they'll care too much about Champions League during the season. And they'll worry about more the league. And then in the bottom three, I put Genoa, Crotone, and Spezia. I think Spezia, I love the story. I don't see it them surviving. It's a great story, honestly. First time in Serie A, but for most cases like that, they're going to go down anyways. Crotone, they look okay. I don't think they'll survive either. I think they will, finish in 19th and in 18th. I think maybe this is the year that I don't want it to happen, but I think this might be the year that Genoa, goes down, maybe for their own benefit. Like Nicholas has said, or I don't remember. I think we all had said pretty much just to get that wake up call that they need, this revamp that they might need, and going back to B and coming back to A, maybe with more hunger and more fire, because like we've seen, they've just been comfortable. I think more scared rather than not, hovering over that relegation spot for so many years now. So I think this is the year they go down, and Benevento survives. People Inzaghi at the helm, like Nick said, and some additions that they've added, have Serie A experience. Just experience, in terms of their age too. So I think they can survive, and I think it'll be an interesting season. Again, this can all be wrong come the end of next season, but it's what I'm sticking with for now.
By the way, Crotone, they still have Simi. He's still a striker. Simi, the legendary Simi, scored that overhead kick against you.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to single-handedly put them into the Champions League.
Another Nigerian beast.
Gianni?
I mean, just to add to the Genoa comment, it wasn't just us that have been saying it. Even some of their own fans, they got complacent, and maybe the wake-up call is what they need. So we don't mean it in a bad way to put them in the bottom three. We think that's actually better for them in the long run.
We love you, Fabrizio. We love you. Don't worry. It's all love.
So my standings were as followed: Inter, Juve, Lazio, Atalanta, Napoli, Milan, Roma, Fiorentina, Sassuolo, Torino, Bologna, Verona, Sampdoria, Udinese, Cagliari, Parma, Benevento, and then the bottom three is Genoa, Crotone, and Spezia. The reason why I put Inter first is that because Conte versus Pirlo is a deciding factor for me. Now, in terms of talent, Juve's got the slightly better roster, but Inter's got the better midfield. Don't forget Lukaku is a year more experienced in Serie A. He did very well considering it last year, and now this year he knows what it takes to score goals. They added some great additions too, and it's just the midfield. Unless like Juve gets a big splash in the next couple of weeks or whatnot, the Inter midfield fits better for them than Juve's midfield fits Juve. Now, Pirlo could change things around. We don't know. He's an X factor. But I think in the end, even though Juve's got more talent, I think the inexperience of Pirlo, not knocking him, I'm not saying I want him to fail, and I'm not being, like, I know I hate Juve, but I'm trying to be logical here. I think that's probably going to be the X factor here, and I think Inter actually do it. The reason why I put Lazio third is because they're still the same unit. They're still the same solid team. They're going to be led by Immobile, who's going to have another fantastic year, but they just can't keep up with Inter and Juve. Atalanta is playing Atalanta ball, as I like to call it, in terms of getting these good signings for good prices, and these players just seem to do very well in their Giampiero, and it's so. They're just a complete team. Even though they're not the most amazing team, they're a complete team. And we see that if they're underestimated, they punish you hard. And it just fit fantastically well. One of the best offensive teams in Serie A, so you have to respect that. Napoli, as much as I'm a big fan of theirs, I still don't see them as a top 4 team anymore. You got Osimhen, which is great. He's a great young talent, but they need to grow with him. Now, with pretty much the back end not looking super great either, with still Koulibaly up in the air of him leaving or not leaving. Especially if he does leave, that doesn't even look that makes it look even worse. I don't really see that. Like, they're not going to be horrible, but they're not going to be good enough to get into that top 4 spot. Milan is going to do better than Roma because Milan's got Zlatan and they got Tonali now, which adds up more. Everybody seems to be functioning well. They've been one of the best teams since the break. Roma is on the decline. They're going through a rebuild. Roma is just going to finish outside of the top 6 because, yeah, they got Kumbala, which is amazing because he's a very young center back. Like, it makes Smalling not necessary anymore to go after. But nonetheless, like, their up front has been depleted. One of their best young stars is gone, and because of injuries, so they're not good enough. They have to go through a transition period, and that's why I put them 7th. Bottom 3. The reason why I put Genoa in 18th versus Benevento is because I think Benevento, because of the great management, might do just enough to stay out of it. And I think this is my biggest disappointment pick, where Genoa might, because they're so complacent, they might actually get that much-needed wake-up call and get knocked down. Crotone is very simple to explain, as well as Spezia. It's very nice to see them, but they don't have the talent at all to keep up with Serie A. It's not their fault. They don't have access to, let's say, the bank accounts that a lot of these bigger teams have, or they don't have the funds to do so. But it's not a bad thing. It's just right now they're very small fish in a very big pond, and they can do their best to stay afloat, but eventually they'll get eaten by the bigger teams, and that's what's going to cost them in the long run.
So quickly, before we have Joseph on, the Serie A does the annual awards at the end of the season. So we're going to try to predict some of them. No point in trying to back up our explanation. It's pretty much a shot in the dark at this point for all these predictions. So let's just say it just to say it, so we can laugh at it at the end of the season. We'll do MVP, Capo Cannoniere, best goalie, and best young player. And then we'll talk about coaches with Joseph after. But so MVP, I'm going to go Immobile, Capo Cannoniere, Ronaldo, best goalie, Meret. Gianni, I know you're going to like that one. And best young player, this one's a bit up in the air because what defines a best young player? Is it someone under 21? Is it a rookie? The Serie A doesn't have a defined rule for their award. I just thought of a rookie. So I'm going to go with Esposito from Inter. I really don't know too many rookies in the Serie A. I was thinking maybe Weston McKennie, but he's also 22 years old, so maybe he doesn't qualify for the award. So I'm going to go shot in the dark, Esposito for Inter. You guys?
This again is very, very difficult to predict, and I think we're just going to have this section. I think is just more for fun. Also, anything could happen, but for me, I'm going to give MVP to Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think if Juve does get their 10th, I think he has a lot to do with that. So I'm going to give him MVP. Capo Cannoniere, I want to say Immobile like you two, but I'm going to go, and I love Immobile, don't get me wrong, and I hope he does get it. But I think for whatever reason, Gianni mentioned it a bit before, I'm going to go a different route, talking about year 2. Inter, Conte, Lukaku. I'm going to go Lukaku, Capocannoniere. I think he can score a lot of goals, and I think he can, surprise maybe this year. Best goal, I'm going to give it to my boy Gigio Donnarumma. He saves Milan every year. Best young, again, we didn't even know how to describe this best young player award. I'm going to go for the new guy on the block, the new guy in Naples, the king of Naples, Victor Osimhen. I know our friends over at Far From Vesuvius, Rafa, they're big fans over there. So I'm going to go for Osimhen. I think he can surprise people, and I think he can score, and he can slide into that Napoli system. For best coach, best coach, we'll save it for later.
Gianni,
I can't believe I forgot about Petagna being added to Napoli. I don't know why my mind blanked out on it.
Just to say, I like that dynamic that they have at forward now with Mertens, Osimhen, and Petagna. That's 3 different types of players that can slot into that attack. I was listening to Far From Vesuvius, and I'm going to credit them for saying that. That brought that to my attention. Very good analysis over there, and I definitely agree with that because all 3 of them bring different aspects to the game.
I think Petagna is basically what they're hoping that Milik was supposed to be for Napoli, so which I don't blame them for. And I was never the biggest Petagna fan, but I hope he changes my mind, honestly. For MVP, because Serie A is weird because they don't give Capo Cannonieri MVP when he deserves it. I went for MVP Ronaldo because they just usually, I feel like as if that's the kind of word they just toss to a player that's a big name. Capo, I gave it to Immobile. I think he's going to do it again this year. Best goalie, which last year he was the best goalie in my eyes, and I think he's been one of the most consistent goalies. Handanovic, him and Donnarumma, I think, are more like 1-2 because of the teams that they play on. Whereas Donnarumma's backline is not significantly weaker than Inter's, but slightly weaker. So you could say Donnarumma is valued more, but Handanovic has the stats more to back him up. So I went with him. Best young player, I decided to go for the U21 aspect, 21 and under, and I went for De Ligt. Last year, when Chiellini was gone, De Ligt really elevated his game, and he showed that he can be trusted, and I think he's going to continue on with that confidence.
So, coming up, we're going to have Joseph from Calcio Fan Blogs. We're going to continue this season preview of the Serie A here on the Calcio Guys. Welcome back to the Calcio Guys. Joining us all the way from Toronto is our good friend of the show and making a second appearance on the show, Joseph from Calcio Fan Blogs. Joseph, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic, Joseph. We're super pumped. Serie A right around the corner, 2 days away, and we couldn't be happier.
It's only a second time. Hasn't he been on more often?
No, only second time.
No, this is the second time.
Second time. Definitely not the last, but second time for now.
Oh, cool.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here anyways. So
we appreciate you coming on.
The last time you came on was pre-COVID, and I think we were talking about trying to either we come to Toronto, you come to Montreal, but that's not going to happen for a while.
Yeah, unfortunate. Different times now.
That's true. Hey, Gianni, didn't I see you? I think you came to Toronto several weeks ago, no? Or
Yeah, I actually did. I went to go visit some relatives about a month ago, actually. Yeah. Where'd you see me?
Instagram.
Yeah, I went to go visit my family in Woodbridge, basically. We come during the summer or during the year, they come see us, we go see them.
Okay.
Really close with them. But yeah, okay. I was like, awesome. If you saw me in public, you should have said hi. I would have said hi back, obviously.
You went all the way to Toronto and you didn't go see Joseph?
Shame on
I mean, to be fair, I did see a Joseph, but that was my cousin.
There's lots of Josephs, so don't worry about it.
Okay, we'll get down to the Calcio talk. Serie A starts in 2 days from now. We have a couple of social media questions, and then we'll preview the season. So we'll start off with Juve, being you're the Juve fan. We'll start off from we got one question on Instagram from Fabrizio from Genoa CFC Canada, who runs the Genoa fan club in Toronto. Great guy. We've had him on as a guest before. He asks Juve pushing for 1,000 fans in the stadiums. Will they be the first ones to have fans back in the stadiums?
Well, truthfully, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know about science, so I'm not really sure if it'll work, and I'm also not sure if they'll be the team to do it. Who knows? That's just a question that's up in the air at this point, for me anyways.
Yeah, I agree totally. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll see fans in stadiums for the short time now, maybe into the future. Who knows? There, I think it's still going to be walking on eggshells with that conversation. But obviously, the players, the fans, ourselves would love to be there, and I know the fans in Italy would love to be there. But I think they're taking probably the better route, having no fans. But Again, Fabrizio, I think that's up in the air. But moving on, another social media question that we had, I guess, Juve related as well from our friends, or all our friends actually at Six Side Calcio. Go check them out. Great podcast too. What do you see being Kurozewski's role from the start of the season compared to the end of the season? Do you anticipate him performing well and earning a significant role? Obviously, he had a big part of Parma's season last season. Kurozewski, another young talent that has been playing incredible calcio. Joseph, what do you make of his presence with now his new club, Juve?
I think it's an absolutely amazing signing for Juve. I think it's great because he can play at right wing if Pirlo wants to deploy him there, and he can also play in central midfield as a mezzala role. So I really like this signing, and he has speed, he has technical ability, so I really do enjoy him, and I think he will play a significant role for Juve this season for 100%.
From start to finish, or is he going to ease himself in? How do you see that panning out? We don't know how Pirlo is as a manager, so I'm not sure what he's going to do. If he's going to throw him right into the fire, he's going to ease him in. But I'm going to say he's going to ease him in just because he's a younger player and he needs time to develop and adapt to a new system and a new squad. So I'm going to say he's going to ease him in.
I'm going to pitch in a question from the Calcio boys. I'll join in on this question too because it pertains to Napoli. If I'll let you have a shot at it first. What are your thoughts on the Napoli signings?
I mean, so first of all, the Osimhen, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. I think his signing is really good because it addresses a huge need that Napoli have had, which is to have a striker that can put balls in the back of the net. And he's also young, so he has a lot of upside. So I really do like this signing for Napoli. And other than that, who was the other signing, Gianni?
Well,
Petagna.
during the winter transfer, they got Petagna.
Oh, yeah, Petagna.
Rachmani, too, in the back.
Yeah.
It's another good one, I find.
That's right. Rachmani adds depth to the defense. And if Koulibaly leaves, he's obviously not going to be like Koulibaly, but he's going to be a decent replacement. And as for Petagna, again, it adds depth to their attack. And again, I think it's huge for Napoli because now they can rely on multiple people to score, and it's not just on guys like Mertens or Insigne to put balls in the back of the net. So I think all their signings have been really good, and they've addressed needs that they've had.
Yeah. For me, I think the Osimhen, because it's so much invested in it, there's a bigger plan because De Laurentiis, that's the most he's ever spent on any player for Napoli. I think there's a big project behind him. I mean, there was even an effect where in Twitter, Nigeria, there was a Nigerian city that started its own Napoli fan club, which is pretty huge considering that, none of them probably, well, not saying that none of them never watched Serie A, but like it adds such a great marketing aspect behind it. So it was a very smart move by him, and I think he's got big plans for him. Petagna gets a lot of the local fanboys involved because he is a fan favorite. He looks very tough, he looks very mean, he looks very strong, and he might be, like I said before, the player that Milik was supposed to be. And I think their best move ever, if it doesn't happen, is to keep Koulibaly. But that's still up in the air.
I think they'll keep him.
I hope they keep him.
Yeah,
I really hope.
I think it's a short period, from now till the end of the Mercato. For them to sell him and get a replacement, a feasible replacement in such a short period of time, I think would be a miracle. So I say they keep him for now and see what happens in the future.
So I just want to point out something about this Koulibaly situation.
Sure.
A lot of people, are speculating on Twitter, how fans are, and there's a lot of speculation about this and that. But I think reality is that if Koulibaly really wanted to leave, he would have already left. And I think that De Laurentiis valuing him at such a high price shows that he wants to stay, because if he didn't want to stay, his price would definitely be lower, and I feel like he would have signed elsewhere by now, for sure.
Well, he even said it himself, I'm pretty sure. He wants to stay. He just wants to know what his future holds, right? He loves Naples. I think Naples loves him back, and it's like another Mertens type of love story, that these players in the city have, with themselves. So, again, I say it would be a stupid move for them to let him go now, because yes, Rahmani is a good center back, but to get another, top quality, world class, forte classe, center back in the back, I think would be hard to come by in a short period of time.
It'd be impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
That was the thing about this summer too, is we didn't really see the big money transfers that we've seen in the past. I think maybe in other leagues, Bundesliga and in Premier League, maybe a bit more, but 6 weeks it's just not enough. I think, and then the financial situation, teams aren't bringing in money. That adds another aspect. So it's definitely been a unique summer, a pretty quiet one. Of that too. We got another question from the Calcio podcast. Guys, that Montreal podcast, we had them on a couple of
yes, sir.
A couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, I forget exactly when. But which team do you think will regress the most this season, and why Lazio? That's exactly how they worded it. That's on me, by the way.
That's Sam, I think, behind that. Definitely. Shout out.
Yeah. I agree to a point there. Listen, Lazio last season were lucky in the sense that, they got out of the Europa League in the group stages and they didn't have to play another European competition. Whereas this season, even if they get out in the group stages in the Champions League, they'll stop. And it's going to be a lot for them. And I know they bought depth in Fares, and who was that other guy they bought?
Muriqi.
Yeah, Muriqi. I think that adds to their depth for sure, but I just don't think they have a deep enough squad to really get into the top four again. Just my view anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Fares move, and Muriqi, for me, I don't know. I don't really know him too much, but if he can be a complement to Immobile, if he can be, just a replacement for Immobile when he's not out there, or even to come off the bench, I think he adds a big presence in the box, like Gianni was saying with Napoli, alla Petagna. I think Muriqi is a tall frame, and can get behind the defense and put the ball in the back of the net. I think it's going to be an adjustment period for him to come to Serie A, but Fares is a nice addition. Him and Lazzari on the wing backs, ex-Spal players, I think could connect their balls, their crosses into the middle of the pitch. We were joking with our friend Sean McIntosh there about that. If Muriqi can just stand still, I think Lazzari and Fares can get him those balls, and he'll be a cheat code going forward for Lazio. But I think like we've all kind of seen with Lazio, the depth. Yes, these moves are good. I just don't know if it's enough depth. I think I liked our core still. It's still the same core. We mentioned it earlier on in the podcast, but I think it just might not be enough for me too. Same with the other Roman team, Roma. I think love what they've done with Kumbula. I think that's a big signing that they announced today. Young player, young center back, Italian born actually. Could have been a nice addition to the Italian national team, but he went the Albanian route. He has the roots from there as well. So, but with Zaniolo's injury, Dzeko leaving, Milik, for me, again, is a toss-up. I think, they might regress a bit, but just to make the biggest regression, I think it might be Lazio as well. So I'll probably agree with you guys there.
John, you want to ask the next questions?
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, so pretty much this comes, we have a question from Genoa CFC and all Juve cast, specifically Alberto from them. Is Juve going to get the number 10 this year, Joseph, or do you think they miss out on it?
Drum roll, please.
The number 10.
They get it or no?
I'm going to say no. Actually, what does he mean by the number 10? Sorry.
Scudetto.
10 Scudetto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm predicting not, just because I think Conte has a squad that fits him this year, and I really do think that he has a squad that he wants. So I think that Inter will win, but I'm holding out hope that Il Maestro can deliver on the managerial side, because if he doesn't, then it might not be so good in Juve land.
Wow.
So Joseph, you say, okay, this is kind of a two-parter question from me. So you say that Juve is not going to win the Scudetto. You say Inter is a race challenger. Do you think there's any other team that could challenge them? And from Juve's standpoint, if it gets to a certain point in the season where they're maybe out of the race or something, and they're still in the Champions League, how important does the Champions League become to Juve?
Well, I don't think they'll be out of the race, to be honest. But yeah, and if we're going on hypotheticals, yeah, I think the Champions League is most important for Juve right now, because unfortunately they haven't won it since the 1990s. So I think the Champions League for them takes precedent. But I mean, I would love to win the Scudetto just because I don't want Inter to win it. That's for sure. Even if Napoli won it, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, wow.
I'd
celebrate. I think my Nono and I would fly to Italy to celebrate, too.
with masks on.
Yeah, definitely.
With masks on, that's an important thing. But yeah, if Inter won the Scudetto, I don't know if I could handle it. If Napoli won it, okay. But if Inter won it, I don't know how I would feel.
Leave some salt in the wounds for sure. But so yeah, Joseph, like everybody knows, Serie A right around the corner, 2 days away. We're super pumped, like we said. We listed our predictions, for top set. We actually listed everything, from 1 to 20. Focused a bit more on, the top 6 and bottom 3. So we'll ask you this question as well, since you are our guest tonight. What is your top 6? So what's that breakdown for you? And I guess if you want to give your relegation teams as well afterwards.
So my top 6. Inter number 1, as long if this pains me to say it. So Inter number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Juventus. Number 3, Napoli.
Ooh.
Number 4,
Wow.
Milan.
Adreano likes that.
Number 5, Roma.
Okay.
And then number 6, I'm going to go with Atalanta.
Wow. Okay. So Lazio just misses out of top 6?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think they have enough depth to go through the whole season. And relegation, that's tough. I'm going to go with Crotone. I might go with Benevento, but I'm not really sure. I think they're like the hip team that I feel like a lot of people are just going to root for. But I feel like they're going to get relegated. And I'm going to say Spezia just because it's their first time in Serie A, and maybe that lack of experience in the league might not help them, so I think they'll get relegated.
All right. So no second stints for the new teams, for the new boys on the block then.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. All three. You say all three go down?
Yeah.
Damn.
Interesting.
I looked it up. At the end of last season, I looked it up. Like the past few years, like 2 of the teams that have come up have gone down. But I think it's been a long time since all 3 teams who came up came down. So that would be pretty bold. But I think also if that happens, if your prediction is correct, Joseph, I think it's also it shows the state of the Serie A, where these teams coming up, like they virtually have no chance sometimes. In other leagues, I sometimes these teams who come up could challenge for a top 10. I think it goes to show just how much of a difference between number 1 and number 20 is in the Serie A.
For sure. It's also like you have to look right. It's a lot to do with TV money as well. Like Premier League teams who go up to the Premier League from the Championship get probably way more TV money and way more revenue. Well, let's say said clubs getting promoted to the Serie A.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Is a big factor in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
Gianni, you want to ask the next question?
Yeah. So we're going to list ours after yours, Joseph, but we want to give you the first shot at it. Who do you think is going to be the coach of the year, and who do you think that is going to be the first coach to be fired?
So first coach to be fired. I'm going to go with Di Francesco. I know I listed his Cagliari as an underrated team, but I don't know. I feel like if Cagliari doesn't fit his system, then it'll be a disaster pretty fast, and I think he'll get fired the fastest. And also, they have a track record of not having much stability, so I think he might be the first to be fired. The coach of the year, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Antonio Conte just because I believe Inter will win the Scudetto. Although I think with their squad they're expected to win, I still think he'll win coach of the season.
We'll go round table now. Adreano, Gianni. First coach fired, coach of the year?
So for myself, first coach to be fired, I'm going to go a different route than Joseph. I'm going to go for Marco Giampaolo in his new team with Torino. Disastrous and left a sore taste in our Milanisti mouth over here. So, and I don't think, he had some time off and now he went to, a struggling team in Torino. Nicholas said it before. They're just flat. They got really nothing going on over there. Unfortunately, it's sad to see. They got some bright spots here and there, but I don't think it's enough, and I don't know if Giampaolo's plans and tactics gets through to these players. So I'm going to say Giampaolo gets the first sacking. And then for coach of the year or best coach, however you want to list it, I'm going to go for Gianpiero Gasperini for Atalanta. I think, yes, they're not going to win the Scudetto, but I do think they will challenge, surprise a lot of teams again, give a lot of teams a run for their money. And I think, he's obviously the head of that. For me, it was a debate, a toss-up between him and Conte. But I do have Juve winning, and unless they want to go Juve heavy, which wouldn't surprise me with Pirlo coach of the year. I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to go Gasperini's way for this nod.
I just want to correct myself because I just realized now while I was doing my homework that I mixed up. I said Giampaolo for Atalanta instead of Gasperini. So when I was giving my prediction, so I just want to self-correct myself after realizing the stupidity that I said. For coach, so Joseph stole my thunder. Good for you, man, because I was going to say coach of the year was going to be Conte because he's finally going to get that Scudetto for Inter that they've been hunting for in the past 10 years. And I honestly was going to say that Di Francesco was going to be fired because, yes, I know he's like when he first managed Roma, I had high hopes for him because he was a former Romanista, but then it showed that this guy probably doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think he has the ability to take on big teams just yet, or even top flight teams. And I think it's going to be exposed yet again, and I think he's going to be let go yet again.
So for me, first coach fired, I got to go to Genoa, Rolando Moran. They're just notorious for firing coaches. I think like the past, 2 seasons, they've had like 6 coaches or something. So it's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, they had 3 last year alone.
Yeah, Moran and then coach of the year, I'm going to go with Gattuso. I think he could bring Napoli back into the top 4, as I said in my predictions, and I think he's done a really good job with Napoli, and I think it's going to continue into this year, and he'll earn. Well, I don't think there's an official coach of the year award, so we're giving it on the Calcio guys a bit early here.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Joseph, I want to ask you: Do you play video games?
I used to. I don't play often now.
You don't play like FIFA anymore?
Not often.
You don't have to.
I wanted to bring it up. Big news, PS5 coming out. So that's kind of changed the way games are released. PES this season is the first time I've seen a video game. They're not even coming out with a new game. They're basically saying it's the same. PES 2021 is the same game as PES 2020, but with a roster update, and it's like $30. I don't know. Are you guys going to get like FIFA or PES? Like
So I'm really excited for this question. I'm sorry. May I jump in and answer this question? So you guys so you guys were just a little bit too young, but not that young. You guys were like 7, 8 years old. Back in 2005, World Cups, World Evolution Soccer winning 11-8 or 7 or whichever.
Winning 11-9.
was probably one of the best games. I preferred it over FIFA because it was very arcadey in terms of FIFA. FIFA was trying to go for more realism, but it was much more fun. They didn't have all the licensing rights, so like for example, Premier League, it wasn't called the Premier League, it was the English League. Like Merseyside Red was like Liverpool or something. It was really or Arsenal. It was really weird. But the game itself was just so fun, and it was much more exciting to play over FIFA. And you could even mod the game where like you could have players wearing penguin costumes versus players wearing horse costumes. It was hilarious to see them play, and the customization aspect was just great. So I myself might actually get Pro Evolution Soccer on the next gen. Well, not only because Roma has the license on them, but I'm tired of FIFA. I'm getting fed up of it. Even though like FIFA is really like trying to be as realistic as possible, I need something fresh.
No joke, just to interrupt. No joke.
Okay, go ahead.
I have FIFA 18, and I don't even buy new FIFAs because it literally updates the rosters. Obviously, the ratings aren't the same, but it updates like the squads. So for me, I just stick to FIFA 18, and it's almost the same thing.
Yeah,
literally the same.
But they'll sell you a new game for $80. At least this year, Pez is just saying, look, we don't feel like updating it. We're focusing on building it for the next gen. Here, $30 roster update. You get the same game. Here you go. So kudos to that.
It's a hefty fee for a roster update.
But Christmas it's going to be like $10.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you want to talk about video games, FIFA. I mean, I don't know if anybody caught these ratings. For at least the Serie A ratings, that's what I really looked at. But holy crap, man! You see some of these ratings, and it's as if EA doesn't even watch anything related to Serie A. It's crazy. I saw that recently, and it was eye opening. But I mean, I think I'll probably be falling into that rut. Okay, well, I'm just gonna buy the next FIFA, just like I'll buy the next jersey or I'll buy the next whatever. I'm just, what, they got me. I can't hold back. I will get it eventually. For me, I don't think I'll ever go to PES. I know we have this funny chat, this funny discussion in our Milan Club Montreal chat, our WhatsApp chat. We have a member or two that is only PES and everybody else is only FIFA. So we kind of butt heads over there. But I just think, for me personally, FIFA is, leaps ahead from PES. PES can't even be bothered to make a new game. $30 for a roster update. I think I'll keep my $30 and put it towards FIFA. But FIFA. I mean, not to say that it's way better, but just I don't know. It just there are mistakes with FIFA, but I'm guilty of falling into that that rut or that trap of just buying the next game just because that's what it is. But But yeah, so Joseph's sticking with 18 and just getting those roster updates for free. So maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. But before we let you go, Joseph, we're big Azzurri fans over here. We love the Nazionale, and we can see that you're rocking a beautiful jersey, the beautiful third
right
kit for the Azzurri, the green one, the Renaissance kit. Yes, and first off, it looks fantastic. Second off, I'd like to just ask you thoughts about, obviously we had the Nations League games, if you want to discuss that, but more just how you think the Azzurri is going to go going forward into, the Euros next summer. How are you excited? What do you think is going to happen, in terms of, players and whatnot? Will Zaniolo be back? Just what do you make of the Azzurri going forward?
So, first off, I'm not going to make any predictions because Malocchio and all that stuff.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, I think that, Italy has some great young talent, and I'm really optimistic about their chances in the next Euros. And, I think it's interesting. I think, a few years ago, we didn't have the midfield that we have now. And so our midfield is really good. Our center backs are awesome. And then even our full backs are really good too. The only issue I could see is at striker, because as good as Immobile is in Serie A, sometimes for the Nazionale, he doesn't bring it enough. So, yeah. But other than that, I think they have a bright squad. I hope that the striker situation is resolved, and hopefully Cheeto can figure it out for the national team. If not, then they can figure out other strikers to use.
Who would you put there? Instead of Immobile?
I would. Well, so right now I would choose Immobile as the starter just to see. But my second choice would be your favorite, which is Chicho Caputo right now. Of
Chicho. Great for him, man. That was great to see him get his first call up there. But it'd be an interesting call. Let's see if he keeps it up come next season, or come the summertime this season. Sorry. And yeah, Joseph. Honestly, from the three of us, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to come on. Where can all our followers, listeners find you on social media? The work that you do. Where can everybody find you?
So I'm on Instagram at Calcio Fan Blogs. I'm on Twitter at Calcio Fan Blog. I'm on Facebook. My page is called Calcio Fan Blogs. And then if you have LinkedIn, be sure to connect with me. My name is Joseph Porco. And that's where you can find me.
Beautiful. And yeah, no, Joseph does great work. And again, we thank you so much. And where to find us? Same thing like every week at the Calcio Guys on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. Like we said earlier in the podcast, we're super grateful for all the followers or people that have followed us, connected with us, and like our content. We finally reached over 1,000 on both platforms, on Instagram and Twitter. Catch our podcast on all your favorite podcasting. Thank you. We appreciate it on all your favorite podcasting platforms. And before we let everybody go, there was something on Twitter now that I just dawned on me that I said I would mention on the podcast. I was speaking to our good friend Rafa from Far From Vesuvius podcast. They're doing this little prediction pool thing that is grabbing a bunch of different podcasts or Italian Calcio pages to get them get us united and to a little bit of fun. So definitely keep your eyes out for that, to predicting games throughout each match day of the Serie A season. And we love the idea. We're in, and Joseph, hopefully maybe you can join as well. And we definitely saw some other friends and people that we know that are doing this as well. So can't wait to get that on, and we'll be back next week to talk more Calcio.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys for having me on.
No problem.
Joseph.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
The Calcio Guys is a weekly podcast by Adreano DiNardo, Gianni Dellacoli, and myself, Nicholas DiGiovanni. We want to bring Calcio back to its roots in our communities and share stories from around the world about why we're passionate about the beautiful game. You can listen to us anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, including Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and Mixcloud. Give us your opinion on social media at The Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The outro song is The Last Ones by Jazar.